Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you guys are today. So, today's video, I'm gonna show you guys, for those, because I didn't see any videos out there on changing the speedo cable on the Mk3s, probably Cressidas, Mk2s. So, I was trying to see if my speedo cable was working, or what was going on with it. And the way people usually do it is they hook up the drill to the short, the short cable first, and spin the drill slowly, to see if the speedometer moves up and down. So I did that with the short one first, hooked up to everything. It didn't move. So I disconnected the short one and I hooked the drill to the long speedo cable, because if any of you know, the Mk3s, Cressidas, they come with a two-piece cable setup for the speedometer. So I hooked the drill up to the long one, and yeah, it snapped it off. So now, I'm the lucky chap that has to take all of this out. So I figured, you know what? Let me pull out the camera, because like I said, I didn't see any videos on YouTube anywhere, any information on how to do it. And this is my second time doing it, because the first one I had on the car when I got the car was burnt. So hence why I have all this heat tape. I actually put a heat wrap around it and then taped it up also to keep the wrap, to keep the wrap together. So I'm gonna show you guys how to get it out, and I'll change it out and show you guys the trick that I did to install this one that's on here right now, because it's kind of a bitch to get it through the firewall. As you can see, here's a little clutter in there, but it goes right through and into the firewall to hook up to the cluster in the back. So let me get to it. All right, so, well, as you see, I already disconnected it from underneath, which I should have started from there, but in the heat of the moment, I wasn't expecting all of this to happen. So yeah, so I figured I'll show you guys again, because you got to take the cluster out for this. So, there's a screw there, 3 screws, wait, 5 screws, top, screw here, and a screw there. And I already took out some of the screws, so I'll tear this one out. And some people ask, oh, why you care about the cluster working? I like a stock looking car. I like everything to look original, how it came. Some people don't care. I see people, driving their car, they do swaps, and the clusters, speedometer isn't working, RPM gauge isn't working, nothing is working on the cluster. I like it to look factory as possible. I'm assuming that's how I like most cars. So, yeah, give me a second. And also, there's a bezel right here. This all here is a bezel. Sometimes they break. I don't even know if I have all the damn screws in there. See, I definitely don't have all the screws. Oh, this one. Sometimes they break. Don't be scared. It happens. These are old cars. Cars are actually probably older than some of us who own them. Come on, find the hole. Where's the hole? Yeah, there we go. So take the bezel out. When you take the bezel out, there's 3 more screws. 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna warn you guys, you gotta be careful tightening these or loosening these. Sometimes, when you don't try to pull too hard, because these things are so delicate. The last cluster I had in here, the screw snapped. I mean, not the screw, I'm sorry. The little legs, the brackets. Fumbling for words right now. The brackets broke. So luckily I found the guy that I always find a guy. I know y'all probably saying that to him, but I found the guy that had a cluster that the mileage was pretty close to mine. So I bought it off of him, just because I wanted to have like a nice clean new cluster. So you gotta be delicate with this. Unplug everything in the back, even the stuff in the back that you gotta unplug. You gotta be delicate with too, because I've had this little sensor here break on me before. this piece here. So, learning process. Everything with these cars, any car period, is a learning process. There. And this is your clock. I think, yeah, that's a clock. And that's out. There's the cluster. All right, so then this is the piece right here for the speedo cable. So you tear this out. Trying to do it with one hand and the other. Oh, come on, you mother knocker. Give me 1 second. Yeah, and here you go. We have it out. This piece here is just a little bracket. You gotta pry it off. It was a little hard to pry off just now, but slaps are right there. And there is, so this here now has to slide through the firewall. That's the bitch. So, let me get to it. I could have left this to another day, but my OCD of wanting to get things done never fails. So, like I said, it's in there, so you gotta pry it out. Maybe I should take off my fuel pressure regulator and make it easier for me to access up in there. So, do. So yeah, mind you, this is this is a good place to mount your fuel pressure regulator. As far as like when you're running your lines, most people, you know, like to put it on the intake manifold or on the strut tower. Me, I just like it there on the firewall, you know, kind of out of the way, but not out of the way. So yeah. So yeah, I said just tug and tug and tug, and it will come out through the hole. And you find the hole. You just gotta play around with it for a bit. Eventually, comes through. And bam, there you have it. Speedo cable is out. The most annoying thing to ever do on one of these cars. I hate it with a passion. God. So, like I said, this piece here broke off. This actually goes into, like I said, the short line. And it's supposed to be able to spin. So, if you look here, let's see if it spins. Alright, so after observing it a little bit more, I realized why the speedo cable stopped working. So I don't know if you guys remember when I told you about my harness burning up and all that stuff, you know, when I was driving the car to the exhaust shop with no downpipe like a dumbass. So what happened from what I'm seeing is all of this here melted as well. And this is the metal of the speedo cable that spins, you know, from the transmission all the way up to the cluster. So when all of that melted, all of this here basically got stuck. So as I was trying to spin it here, it's not spinning, this is just unraveling. So that explains everything right there in a nutshell. So had to get a new speedo cable anyway. So this is part one. Part two, I will come back when I install the speedo cable, when I'm installing the speedo cable, to show you guys how to put it in. I didn't get one yet, but I will be ordering it right now as we speak from Drift Motion. Drift Motion sells the speedo cable. I think Toyota sells it also. I'm not too sure. I can ask my boy because he works in the parts department at Toyota. So on that note, we will be continuing this another day when I put the new cable in. Peace. All right, peoples, we're back. So it's a new day. I got another cable right here. I put some DEI, sleeving on it because, like I told you guys before, with it being by the downpipe, it gets a lot of heat. As you can see, they all wonder how this melted up and stuff. Because you know what? I didn't put the DEI tape, the sleeve, all the way up here. I just had it from like here all the way down. That's why this looks so damn clean, because it had the sleeve on it. So, like I said, I got this here from a friend of mine today who parts out Supras and stuff like that. So he had one knocking around. So kind of funky inside of there, but as you can see, if you look good, when I spin this, well, you might not be able to see, but when I spin this, that part spins. That's the part that's supposed to go into the back of the cluster. So I'm gonna fish this through the firewall right now. My son is there. And a trick that I like to use to fish this through, like I did the last time I put it in, is I hook it up to a wire hanger. Like I run a wire hanger through this, through the little green piece right here. And I fish the wire hanger through the firewall and just pull it right through. So my son is here, he's gonna help me out. We're gonna try to get this over with quick before we lose daylight. So give me a second. All right, guys, so under the car, gotta use my phone as the light because I'm losing daylight. So yeah, speedo cable is connected to the transmission. I ran it, up underneath the car as you have to. But because my exhaust, I have 3.5-inch exhaust, so I have to tuck it up in there so that it wouldn't, even though it has on the heat sleeve, so the exhaust wouldn't do anything. At least I would hope so. I still tuck it up in there, just for that extra clearance. And it's clear up in there. So, when I get a chance, I'm gonna tuck it away like how I had it before, so that it would be clear of the downpipe and all that stuff. It's back up in there. I don't know if you can see, but it's tucked. The little grommet is into the firewall. And it is in the little snap ring thingy-majiggy. As I show you, I use my wire hanger trick to hook it on and pull it through. So it's in there good. And that is it. All that's left for me to do now is plug the cluster back up. And we're good to go. We'll definitely have a working speedometer again. I did my test to make sure. I had my son spin it from in here with needle nose pliers, and he just spun it while I was down there making sure that the other end was spinning as well. Plugged it into the transmission, into the speedo gear, screwed it all tight. Make sure you screw it in there tight, and like I said, you have a working speedometer. So that's it for now. You guys have a good one. Matter of fact, no, wait, I'll just plug everything back up. Hold on a second. So yeah, guys, like I said, I'll just plug everything back up. I'll have my son hold the camera for me while I do it, so you guys can see, like I said, the reverse motion of everything. So this is just a vacuum hose that I have run through here for my ECU. I'm gonna cut this out. Yeah, so where were we? So reverse motion of everything that I did yesterday. I'm gonna plug all these back up into their respective spots. There, back. And like I told you guys, be careful with plugging up this stuff because a lot of these modules are very delicate. They can break just by you tugging to make sure that everything is in there tight. This happened to me before with previous clusters. So it's going on. And that. Oh yeah, one more plug over here. When you push it back in, this little green piece right here is gonna slide right into the speedo cable, the female end over here. And that is it. I hate putting this joint in. Oh my God, I hate putting this cluster in. Alright. Gotta be so delicate with this cluster. That is it. She is in there, and just screw everything back up. See the light. Yep, bam. Let me get a Phillips screwdriver. Pass me a Phillips. So yeah, as you guys see, pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and much to it. I did this process a good 5-6 times already. Look in the top drawer. I did this process a good maybe 5-6 times already, taking this cluster in and out of this car. Just trying out different things. It was a point. I had the old cluster I took out these gauges and I put AEM gauges there. I had the AEM boost gauge and the AEM oil pressure gauge, and that in the previous cluster. So like I said, constant in and out, but that's how it is, you know, when you have a project car. You're just trying new things out here and there. So, like I said, give me 1 second. Let me just finish this up. Like I said, I'm gonna screw it in while my son is holding the camera. Sorry if this video was all over the place. This was kind of an unexpected thing that I'm doing because I really and truly just came out here to test and see if the cable was good, and to find out it wasn't. So I said, hey, let me make a video showing how to change the cable, being that there's none on YouTube. I didn't see a video doing this process on YouTube, and I hope that I was helpful to you guys as far as doing this. That's all I really want to do is, you know, be informative and help out the Mk3 community as much as I could. I told you before, 3 screws up in here. You just got to be very delicate with them because these things could break just like that. So you just got to be very delicate with how you're putting this stuff in here. Putting these screws in, because the last thing you want to do is break one of these suckers. Don't try to over tighten them or anything. Alright, that's there. And the last, the final piece to the puzzle. Screw right here. You know, just check over your work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and that's it. Oh, yeah. See, trying to rush. This is how you mess up, because these 2 outside screws, I gotta put the bezel on first. So take these out. Completely forgot about that. It's that easy to just forget these little things. there. That right there. That, and we are good to go. So on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry, getting a tongue twisted. It's cold outside. On that note, I hope that was informative enough. I think it's a pretty straightforward process. I know I didn't get into the full meat and potatoes of everything, but I tried my best to get as much footage as I could during the process. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to hit me up. On that note, have a good one. Peace.